we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we will off here eventually, as Oisin Buckley has picked up a drive-through penalty with Raoul Wheeler. Both drive-through penalties here on the board at the moment as we go to approach turn 1. Blunty going really defensive on the inside line, actually blocking Capo's entry to turn 1, which is legal. You are able to do it, as we do see a lot of drivers go through turn 1 here, folks, very cleanly here on at the start of the race.
Rabble and Skibbertop.
And we do see, yeah, for turn 1 we do see a virtual safety car here at the moment. We do see turn 1 Toxic and Rabble and Toxic hitting each other once we turn 1. I'm not too sure actually what happened there, folks. Squash is opted into going to pit lane and actually do that drive-through penalty, I believe, as we have completed lap 1 here, folks.
Well, my idea there, what Crusher could have done is Blunty could have slowed Kofu down, so that way Crusher gets ahead. Crusher then defends from Kofu to slow him down. It would give Blunty a lead.
Now we did see going the exit here of turn 1, there was some contact between Oliver and Rousey, but in that contact Oliver was actually able to get a position, hold his position rather. But there was some switches here on the back end of the grid here. We do see a pretty big gap forming between Griever and the rest of the field here. He is about 2 seconds behind, but we'll quickly go up to the very top end here to see this battle be...
also got a second gap between Kofu and Oliver, so it's down to these two.
Yeah, the gaps are forming here now, folks. Oliver has dropped out of DRS here off Capo and Blunty, so it is going to become the Capo and Blunty 1v1. You see Blunty going very defensive on his racing line and trying to break that slipstream as much as he can over Capo. But Capo, without DRS, gets that position, but Blunty comes back up as they go side by side rather, through the start here off sector 3. And Capo does come out of ahead in that scrappy doodah, but next lap there will be DRS that will be activated, and Blunty will be on full attack. But we have seen in previous races where Blunty has opted in to stick behind Capo and then go for it on the final lap. We did see it there in Abu Dhabi, but back lane he did have Humane to defend up as well, so we'll see if Humane does come into play later on in this race.
Something's happening there.
Yeah, already Capo picking up a 1 second gap here between himself and Blunty, so he must be pushing quite hard to try and break that DRS. As we see Diamonds here in the background here taking a position and actually having a little scrap between himself, Ramo and Blur, but Kai Parker in there as well, getting involved or trying to as much as he can to try and capitalise on any mistakes that those drivers are making up front.
It's the Toxic Ski Dude entering the pit lane as he
lost his he must have hit the
pit lane entry.
He must have hit the pit lane entry and actually lost that front wing. So yeah, Toxic having a bit of a trickier race here today, folks.
We also see this Yuli and Rabble scrap continuing, but I believe they've actually got a bit of a silent agreement to work together because...
Oh, and saying that there, Rabbles went wide and Yuli's given up his... But I think he was given given a warning to give that position back, which he does opt in to do.
And now Rabble has to give the position
now,
back to Yuli.
What is happening back here? Diamonds on the... Sorry. He run hard as well, so all those 4 drivers will be coming out on the hard compounds and probably try and take those hards to the end of the race. But this virtual safety car...
This virtual safety car has to end, and it does end, but Kopu's got drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car.
Oh, no way.
That puts him about 15 seconds back from Blunty, so he needs a safety car after he serves that drive-through penalty.
And DRS will immediately be active here, and you can see Blunty has closed this gap as much as he can on this restart. He has DRS activated. He will be pushing quite hard to try and bridge this gap between himself and Capo, but this is a big opportunity for Blunty to secure this championship here today in Cota. But it's lap 5. You see Capo's actually struggling for grip on his rear end as the Mercs in behind of Oliver and Medi King on P4 and P5 working quite well together here to try and hold up that Humane behind.
He's just wrestling with the car. He's got that drive through. He's probably really annoyed with himself.
Yeah, probably really annoyed.
As far as he can see, he doesn't know what's going to happen next, so in his mind, he's probably just thrown it all away as he now goes into the pit lane to serve the drive-through penalty.
And you know what?
Blunty the lead on lap 6.
As he does hit the pit sign on entry out of frustration. But you know what? It's a long race, and we have seen a couple of virtual safety cars out there at the moment already. So we'll see.
Now look at this train.
Look, what did I just say?
Ryu.
What did I just say?
Car.
What did I just say? In actual fact, that is the perfect timing for Capo to go in that pit lane and serve that penalty. That is the perfect opportunity. But yeah, folks, we have the safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap, so we'll stick on board here with Blunty and turn on telemetry just to make sure that we know when he does go. But we will be on the way here, folks, in any moment. We'll just keep an eye on the telemetry here for Blunty as he does eventually hit full throttle, and there he is. We are off, folks, as he does get a pretty good restart here over Risey, straight up down the pit straight here. Risey getting pretty good restart as well over the likes of Oliver in behind. In the Merc, Humane having a pretty good restart as well. Everyone sticking in their same positions. We do see Quashi moving up one position. Capo having a scrap here with the Merc of Toby as they go through turn 1 on the exit here, folks. You do see them going side by side through the American S's, the American Airlines, as Capo does come out ahead here off that little squabble between both of those drivers. We do see in the background here, I believe Diamonds and Capo having a drag race down the back straight here, as Capo does seem to be coming out ahead on those fresher soft compound tires, as we'll see if Diamonds does come back here at Capo. It doesn't look like, I think Diamonds has actually tucked himself in behind Capo here at the end of that pit straight. Now we did see Griever and I think it was Quashi swapping positions here as well on that pit straight, or sorry, that back straight rather. I'm not too sure if you caught that.
Also battling towards the back for P14. Humane is right on the back of Oliver through the American S's.
Yeah, on those soft compounds here, he's right up behind Oliver, and it'll be a tough ask here for Oliver to hold up Humane. And to be honest, it actually might be worthwhile for Oliver just to let Humane by, just to avoid getting into that scrap and maybe tuck himself in behind and try and use that DRS behind Humane with the soft compounds. And we'll see.
It's quite clear it should be quite clear to Oliver that Humane is in the faster car in the corners, so it's all down to the straights really. If Oliver has that massive pace advantage over him on the straights, which it appears he doesn't, as we actually see the straight line pace of Humane puts him up into the podium position.
And Oliver actually went on a very defensive line. He tried to cut the slipstream as much as he could, but it just wasn't enough. But big gains here for Capo on this safety car restart. He's up, 2 positions already. Diamond's having a disaster on the restart. He's lost 3 or 4 positions over to Capo, Kai, Toby, and Quashi as well. So please do stick around.
About to go down the inside of Ramo just before the DRS straight, and he makes the move stick. Ramo clearly just letting him go faster. It's just not a fight worth having with a title contender. And now we can see Capo also go down the inside of Oliver again on the next straight.
But Capo is completely out of ERS. He is completely out of deployment.
0%.
0%.
He does have his teammate in front of him to drag him along, who does have a lot of ERS.
And I wonder if Humane is going to try and slingshot or give this position up to Capo to trying to help him to contest this. And actually the gains that Capo's made on this restart is mega. You see Blunty's made about a 1.6 second gap between himself and Risey. But that, if you compare that to what Capo's done on this restart in the last 2 or 3 laps, it just is uncomparable.
Gained so much. Capo's nearly 0. And I believe Humane's going to be letting Capo by at turn 1. Yep, very much going to let him by.
He is. Humane is playing. He is playing the team game here from Humane, which, to be honest, that we did expect that there later on, or earlier on, rather, like we predicted. But one thing as well that you were mentioning about the advantages that Blunty will have, another thing he'll have is actually his tires won't be as worn because of the battling he hasn't had to do. As you do see Humane picking up a 3-second time penalty here in his home track of Cota. Well, when I say home track, it's America.
Ryu nearly bends the car, and he's in P2.
Rambo going for a terrific here move on the end of the DRS zone number 1 here over Oliver and getting that there move done and dusted. There is some contact here. There's a Ferrari here of Quashi getting involved, as Griever has tagged the rear end here of Toby, aka the Mighty King, and I'm not too sure if Quashi had made contact or who he had made contact with.
Humane and Ramo are going to go side by side into the S's.
Oliver's there as well. Oliver's seen this scrap and he's actually getting involved himself too, as they're going in conservative lines through the American S's.
Side by side with Humane.
And Oliver says, let me get involved in this, folks, as they do make slight contact here on the exit of...
And Humane's into the wall.
Disaster for Humane.
He saves the car.
He saves the car. I think there was a bit of a too much touching here from Humane and Oliver. And Humane was sent wide. The stars need to align for Capo to win this championship, folks. The stars have to align.
But he has caught up to the DRS of Ryu, but Ryu has now dropped a further 2 attempts to Blunty as Human picks up another full second time by the week.
I think
Yeah,
it's
actually, we see Ryu let Copy past. I think he understands that he's not faster. He has to let him through, otherwise he puts himself at risk of a collision.
and I think
he
as
could
well.
just
I think the
Contain.
you see Ryu is actually struggling for grip as well. I think in Sector 3 there's a lack of grip here for all drivers that are involved here, folks. You've seen his rear end of the car slipping and sliding. As we see already, he's almost dropping out of that DRS range off Capo, so it looks like those hard runners are actually struggling as well. How long is so they're 8 laps old?
Copy catches up. It is a fight for the championship.
It
And for
really
the win.
is. This is really and
And look how much Copy's gaining. There's a high chance that on the final 2 laps, he's up there. And then it will come down to tyre condition, it will come down to strategy, and it will come down, most importantly, to the driver themselves.
And I just wonder how much fresher are Blunty's tires. And we know Capo had to fight a few drivers to get a few positions after the safety car. So wonder how much that took away from his tires. Even 2%, 3% can play dividends. So we'll see how that plays out.
As it goes on, the laps tick down. We're on lap 17. We're about to reach lap 18. Copy has to get a move on if he wants to win the championship, or he has to put so much pressure just by gaining time on Blunty that Blunty makes a crucial mistake of giving him the championship. But Oliver's now spun on the hard tyres, which promotes Ramo up to P4, Humane to P5, and Kai into P6.
Kyle Parker's doing a mega race here today, folks. He's up in P6 with no penalties. He remains in front with, I believe, 6 seconds worth of penalties.
I told you, Kai is a good driver.
So right now, Kai is looking at a P5 potentially. That drive-through was really, really unfortunate here for Capo. If you look at the timing screens here on the intervals, you know, it would have been a lot closer here for Capo and Blunty, but that is racing and that's how it goes. Yes, Stein, so same tower age. It was a very, very early pit stop to go on those soft comp points, but look at the gap. It's dwindling here now for Blunty and Capo. He's almost within the DRS, and he is rinsing through. He's actually not. He's on the same amount of DRS he was on before. Can he get within DRS before this final lap and potentially contest his P1 position? But even if he...
I don't know if he can do it. I think it might be too little too late. He's gained an insane amount this lap. It's about 6 attempts he's gained so far, but I don't think he has it in him.
And that's the fact, Ryu is gaining as well. He's in with 1.2 seconds off Capo, so could Ryu come into play and fight Capo for his P2? This is mental.
Ryu's tyres have to have become better by now. He's on that hard tyre. He's been on that hard tyre. So onto the final lap. The gap is down to a second now.
And
but Copy doesn't have the DRS.
Copy's rinsing through his ERS, and he could get...
So's Blunty.
He could... Capo could get DRS on the back pit straight. He's within 1 second. Could this... Holy moly. Actually, we're going to go into duocam here, folks, just to see this race here, folks. This is mental. We're all within 1 second here of each other between Capo and Blunty. 8 attempts, folks. We'll see if Capo can apply the pressure enough. If you want to stick on board here with Blunty on broadcast. He's within 6 attempts. He's right up behind. 3 attempts.
He's really close now. This is the championship decider.
Can Blunty defend? This will take an entire...
Right up his rear wing.
How much can Blunty defend? He goes on the defensive line to try and break that stiffly much as he can. But Capo goes for a move on the outside, gets that P1 at the end of this braking zone. Can Blunty come back on him? He doesn't. Blunty comes in the inside here off Capo as they go side by side through.
Between the 2 drivers, but Blunty doesn't get a good exit. But Blunty's down the inside again. He's trying to get the championship. He knows if he's not in P1, that's Copy winning the championship.
This will come down to the... But Ryu's there as well, folks. Ryu's in the fight. He's in P3.
Ryu can steal this from both of them and get the race win.
What a dramatic end to this race, folks, and I think that'll be Capo's win.
It won't happen. Capo has gapped Blunty by so much that he's going to come around the final corner and he's going to become the driver's champion in the 2nd season of CBRL.
Holy moly, folks. That is CBRL champion.
He crosses the line
Season 2.
to become the
Capo.
Season 2 champion. It goes to Brazil. What an ending.
What a dramatic ending to this race, folks. What a dramatic ending.